It's been nearly a year to the day since my last day working for Disney World. And working for Disney is a crazy experience. And I'm going to skip through tons of things like my fundamental class, my declamation class, that's Disney's Animal Kingdom acclamation. Yeah, it all starts with the puns and it only goes downhill from there. Today we're going to start our journey with me starting at the Kilamanjaro Safari ride. I'm doing a Disney college program, which means I'm only spending a semester of college there interning. I'm learning some engineering stuff while I'm there, but at the same time, they're putting me to work in the parks. I told them, as someone who worked mostly online and was doing online school, that I missed people. And I really wanted to talk to people. So they put me on this ride where you drive around a 5-mile track talking for literally like 10 hours a day about these exotic and endangered African animals. And that is not at all what you expect when you first start working for Disney. You come in all rosy-cheeked, expecting to ride all the rides after the park is closed. You come in with your little Disney ears on with all the songs memorized, all these stupid things just leaking into your personality. Just, smiles and hidden Mickeys, I'm gonna love it so much. And then you crash a 40-foot truck for the first time. Hopefully not into one of the endangered animals, but you crash your first truck because you're totally not qualified to drive this ridiculously long vehicle. The longest thing you've driven is maybe 8, whatever. So the way that the ride path works at KSR, first of all, we actually are driving around. We're not on like a little rail and the vehicle goes by itself and we just press the gas and the brake. No, we are actually driving. We could go off the path if we wanted to. We could jump a curb. We could run over an animal. It's absolutely all possible. The problem is there's this 40-foot long vehicle that can hold like 25, 30 people, and they give you this really, really thin drive path that's really just wide enough for you to fit your vehicle around the corners if you do it perfectly. And eventually you could do it with your eyes closed in your sleep because you've driven this path like 20 times a day, every day for 5 months. You get used to it. But at first, you're driving really slow, which is a problem because you're on such a tight schedule here and you're holding everybody up. So anyways, I've been at this for a couple of hours and they finally give me a break to go to the lunchroom. We sit down there, me and my group of maybe 6, 7 other trainees with all of these super experienced Kilamanjaro Safari drivers around us. And of course, they have to break out their best stories about working for the mouse. I have a list of like 100 stories that I have to tell from my experience at Disney. So some of the craziest stories I heard this day included a cheetah escaping, a giraffe being stabbed in the stomach by a sable antelope, a man being chased up a tree by a sable antelope. The story I was told was about this giraffe who bad things happened to. So let's start off by saying giraffes like people. They like licking people. They're curious animals. You can't fault them for that. If an animal wants to rub their 18-inch purple tongue all over you, that's all right. Let them do it. 'Cause they're curious. They're dumb as soup, but they're curious. And I can hear everyone out there saying, why are you saying that giraffes are dumb as soup? I mean, just because they're not as smart as you doesn't mean they're dumb as soup. Giraffes are the stupidest animals on the entire property, and that includes the Disney guests. But anyways, how do I know this? Because a couple years before I got there, Disney/AP, which is the animal protection, they had to do some work digging up some pipes that were feeding the water in the attraction area. And so they dug this big hole, and in this little area here, we had tons of different animals. The animals are separated into different like biomes. We've got little cattle guards that keep them from getting next to each other because, a cheetah should never be allowed to roam free amongst the antelope. So anyways, in this area, there are oxen, there's antelope, there's giraffes, tons of antelope. All of these animals are fine, except for the giraffe. The giraffe keep falling in the holes, and because they have these long-ass gangly legs, they can't get themselves out. And this isn't just like people dug a hole and the animals fell in. That would never happen to them in the wild. No. Giraffes routinely die this way. They go, crap. they stumble into the hole and then can't get out. All the time. It's miraculous that their species has still survived. So every time there's a plumbing problem, AP digs a hole and the giraffes fall into the hole like the idiots they are. Dumb as soup. Anyways, this curious giraffe sticks his head in and he apparently thinks, what a delightful man. I should explore his facial regions with my tongue. And giraffes and another species called okapi, which are cousins of the giraffe, both have these really, really long tongues they use to like stick out their face and like clean their own faces, and in there it's just disturbing. Not as disturbing as their genitalia, but pretty disturbing. So Curious Giraffe goes in for this impromptu face makeout session, and this man apparently was not having it. So he chambers up, just nails this giraffe right in the face. And all of his kids and all the other kids on the ride, there's like 30 people per ride. So they're all the adults are just scorning him, and the children are crying because they've gone to Disney World for the day and watched a man punch a giraffe in the face. So Macho Man over here has punched Curious Giraffe. Curious Giraffe does not care. I don't know if you've ever seen giraffes fight, but imagine taking like skulls and attaching them to 10-foot ropes and just swinging them at your enemy. Except you can feel the pain every time this skull hits the body of your enemy. It's gotta hurt really, like it's headbutting to the extreme. This little 5'8" man punching a giraffe in the face, giraffe doesn't care, it doesn't hurt that much. Mostly Curious Giraffe is confused at how his makeout session has ended like most of mine did in high school. And the problem is, this whole tour is about 22 minutes. That's our ideal length, is a 22-minute journey around the track if no animals stand in the way, because they've learned to do that so they get fed. Just gonna complain about that for a second. Anyways, 22 minutes ideally, and you're only about 8-10 minutes into the journey once you get to the giraffes. So this man has punched a giraffe in the face, upset all these children, and their parents are judging the crap out of them, and they've still got another 10-12 minutes around the track before they can get off and go home. So he's got a pissed off tour guide who's no longer having fun with any of the joke, because you can't say anything. God, what's a fun joke I make? You can't go up to the rhinos and see all the dirt prints in the ground and going, now we can see that there are lots of fresh prints around here. Now these aren't the kind you can find in Bel Air, but they've definitely been made by some rhinos recently. No, you're not gonna have fun like that. After a man has just punched a giraffe in the face, you're just gonna be angry and be sitting on your radio, I need Disney security here so we can rough up a little macho man who can't stand to make out with a giraffe. We gotta get his ass out of here. So anyways, that's exactly what happens. This man is greeted forcibly by several Disney security guards and is taken back to a little questioning room, questioned why he punched this lovely exotic and endangered animal in the face, and then removed from the park and told never to return on account of punching the endangered animals. The moral of this story is working for Kilamanjaro Safaris means working with extremely unpredictable, curious, and bored animals with weird bodies and weird genitalia, weird sexual patterns, weird interactions with people, and then weird people who have anywhere from ridiculous and unprecedentedly entitled expectations of going to Disney World to like violent and extreme reactions to the animals to hopelessly naive people who think Disney is the most amazing thing on the face of the planet, and then the very rare, occasionally touching moments where you actually get to change someone's life working for Disney. I've got all these stories. I've got 99 stories, but this isn't one of them. because I've already told it. I'm gonna have a few regular Disney stories, but for the most part, a lot of it's gonna be about these animals. In a quick little 30-second overview here, this is normally a science channel. I'm experimenting with making a different channel, my main science channel, and making this more of just a personal channel where I can talk a little bit about science and vlog, so the animals are kind of going in that direction. So if you'd like to see more on this topic, if you'd like to see me talk more about the animals and working for Disney, let me know. Let me know in the comment section below. It'll be a good time. But anyways, thank you so much. Please click that little button in one of these corners here to say like DF and subscribe under it. Go ahead, it'll be right there actually. Go ahead and click that button there and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Comment below, like it, share with a friend. Thank you so much, and we're gonna see you next week.